Hey everyone, Steve Kim here. Welcome to the Be Great, Be Kind Steve Kim Experience Podcast, episode number 8. I am so excited to get the famous, the world-renowned George Thomas, one of the best coaches that I know. Even outside of being a former York Region District School Board teacher coach. The man, the myth, the legend. George is he's a straight shooter, the real deal. And the one thing that I was immediately attracted to George and his way of doing things was his relentless commitment to developing skill and character in every single kid that you come across. Not only just your teams, but like even our teams that we would bring over to your school. So George, thank you so much for taking time out of your crazy busy schedule, crazy busy schedule to kind of sit here, speak your truth, and just share with us just kind of who you are and how you came to be more than anything.
Well, I actually feel like I shouldn't actually say anything. I should just leave because I can't live up to any of that. So interview's over. It's been great.
Yeah, see you guys. George, honestly, it's been years that we actually were kind of formally introduced. Yeah. But I knew about you though because you used to organize the teacher staff volleyball for years and years and years. I'm like, who's this George Thomas guy? And then I remember talking to a coach out in the East, and he was like, "Oh, you don't know him?" He's like the basketball dominant coach. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, talk is cheap. Right. Until we brought our team to your school.
That's right.
And you crushed us multiple times. But thank you again for just being here. I know you're a huge basketball fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stuff like that. So before we kind of get into the nitty and gritty, what did you think about last night's game?
Yeah, it was, I think... you have that Toronto kind of piece where you have that doubt in your head and you're thinking, oh God, are we going to do this? Are we going to blow it again? But I had faith in them. I thought, they dominated this team. They dominated Golden State along the way. You look at Game 5 and it's like, Golden State shoots 48%. We shoot 25 from 3, whatever. And we lose by 1. And it's okay, we have this, right? And I thought going into Golden State's probably their best bet to win it because the pressure was off. I think there was so much, not pressure, but I think they wanted to win it so badly in Toronto. You could see the tightness in the shots, the decision making sometimes. Yeah. And, maybe being away from home. Yeah. And then it's a great story. Hey man, you shut down the building, right?
Yeah.
You shut down the dynasty. You shut down the building. You shut down Oakland. It's like, all right, we're out. Let's go.
Now, does it mean any less? And there's so much like crap out there of this really isn't an NBA title because two of arguably their best players out in KD, and then potentially their second best player in Clay is out when it really matters. How do you respond to that crap?
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where you'd hope they'd be there because there's going to be people are going to put this asterisk, but I think that lasts until the next championship. Do you know what I mean? So next year, because down the road, it's not like they're going to list the champions and it's going to say Toronto Raptors 2019. It's not going to say Toronto 2019. Oh, and by the way, they were missing Kevin Durant and Thompson got injured in games. You know what I mean? It's not. We have no idea looking back who was around at different championships. You got it. And when I look at Golden State, I'm like, hey, listen, you have 5 All-Stars. Yeah. You lost 2. Yeah. Right. Well, you really you lost 1. He wasn't there anyways, and you didn't. Okay, Thompson was in and out, but you still had 3 more. Yeah. You can't really complain about that. Yeah. Right. So you still have more than most teams out there, and you're always going to get those people making the comments. But for the Toronto Raptors, it's like, hey, Larry O'Brien's in our building, so
as Kawhi calls it, the Larry O'B trophy.
The Larry O'B trophy. Yeah.
Love it. So, how smart does Masai look after the trade for Leonard?
He looks like an absolute genius. I suspect that there's going to be probably 24 teams throwing the farm at him to get him. Right?
Do you think he stays?
I think he stays.
You do?
Yeah. I think one of the things that just from what I kind of hear around is Masai really does love Toronto. He loves the multicultural piece of Toronto, which is so big for him.
He's verbalized that a lot.
Yeah, and it's so big for him. And some people speculate about Washington because he really wants to keep growing. Giants of Africa and stuff like that, and being in Washington, apparently his wife's from there, and connections with politicians, blah blah blah. But that's ridiculous. You don't have to be in proximity to have help from people and stuff, right? So, the globe shrunk. It's not like it was before. And I think he really enjoys him. And listen, I think Masai's a guy. It's like, he built this, and he's gonna look at the challenge and go, let's do it again. Let's repeat, right? Can I get Kawhi back? And if he does, the guy. That's why I don't understand like why people think, oh, Washington's going to take him. Why would you go there? It's a disaster. Like, and MLSC is a fantastic organization. Like, they really are. Like, I can just say just from my short time working with them, like they really treat their employees awesome. So I'm just me. So I can't imagine how they treat Masai. You know what I'm saying, right?
And so that's important because we're going to talk about that because George, for maybe the one or two people on social media who don't know, George is actually you're a recent Raptor Community Youth Development coach.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that as we kind of get into it, but it's kind of fitting that you're here.
Yeah,
right. And the thing is, like, I didn't really think about it until I sent the text last night because it was even before the game. I was like, hey, can you swing by tomorrow after school? Kind of speak your truth and stuff, and you're like, yeah, 100%, no problem, which is amazing. Yeah, unsung hero of the fourth quarter, our boy Freddie Van Vliet, like insane, insane.
Yeah, he's been. But if you look back, like. Look at the other previous games when the shot clock's coming ticking down. Like Freddie V's just jacking it and he's hitting it every time.
Yeah, crazy.
Like just it's almost like for him. And we've seen him when he's at the end of games where he's been like kind of spot up, wide open catch and blown it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when he's shooting those shots under the gun of like the clock. It's like now he's just shooting.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? And we know from being basketball coaches, like you just gotta shoot, right? And we think about it. It's like golf, right? Everybody golfs, right? If you think about your swing, you're gonna mess it up. You just gotta just do it. And I think that's what made him successful in those moments.
His motto, like, bet on yourself, right? Yeah. Like you've had, I don't know, thousands of kids come through your program just as an elementary school teacher.
Right.
Not even like your rep program and your camps, and we'll talk about that. How do you get a little kid? Right. For the first time picking up a basketball, it's like, hey, Mr. Thomas, Coach Thomas, like, help me.
Right.
Help me develop. Because you and I both know it, especially with regards to the kids that we teach, the mental game is huge. At times, probably more powerful than the skills that we teach them. Yeah. So how do you get like someone little to understand that?
Yeah.
Like bet on yourself. Like talking to like, what in grade 4? Yeah. Grade 3? Like what, like 8 years old? 8
years old.
Like getting that model of like bet on yourself, trust in yourself, believe in yourself.
Right.
How? Like
I think it's one of those things where our coaches hat, teachers hat that we put on, it's one of those things where you've gotta give them situations where they're challenged.
Yeah.
But they can get a little bit of easy success. You model it like how apps work, right? Like free apps work. So free apps will like give you like you're successful at the beginning. Yeah. You can pass level 1. Like I'm on Candy Crush, killing up to level 10, and all of a sudden level 11, I'm like, what the heck? Why is it so hard all of a sudden? But now my confidence is so high that I've crushed those first 10 levels, and I'm like, I can do this. So I love that. I love that, by the way. That's right, so tight. Yeah, but that's how they hook you too, right? But I think that's what you got to do. And now all of a sudden the kid gets the belief like, okay, I can do stuff. So now then you keep ramping up that challenge, right? Yeah. And I think we both know, we've seen it, like it really does take a special person. And I always think it's amazing when I'm watching these kids at elementary school, juniors. I mean, they're in grade 6. They're 12 years old.
Grade 4, 5, 6.
Grade 4, yeah. And all of a sudden here's a 12-year-old or an intermediate 13, 14 years old, and they got to put their team on their back and they got to make a decision and they got to live with it.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, right? That's tough, but what a great opportunity for that kid. You know what I mean? Because that's the time to, and if it blows it, okay, so what? You're 12 years old. You got another chance down the road, right?
You would know this more than anyone that I actually know in terms of coaching, is that, apart from the classroom, they always say like, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
Like that is so prevalent, relevant on the courts.
Yes.
How do you do that though? Like how do you... Like you talk about like game winning, like put the whole game on my shoulders. Yeah. You as the coach, you've been developing these kids for years to release that and be like, take it.
Right.
Take it. Like, how do you get them to actually like execute on that?
I think it's funny you say that though, because I think also you got to find that right kid. Like I have some kids, and I have some ones that are playing for right now, and they're fantastic. They're amazing. I just know that they don't have that personality that they can take that ball at the end of the game.
How do you know? How do you know when that kid's got it?
Because I put them there a few times and it didn't work out. Like really, and I've seen them, but it's not that they didn't make the play.
Sure.
But I could see the emotion and I could see the tension. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that they won't ever get there. But right now, that's not the spot, right? Okay. But it's also the conversation. It's like, listen, like I always use the pros as an example, right? Yeah. The best players, they make big plays, but they also make mistakes, and that's part of it. Like if you want to be that person, then you got to say, okay, I'm willing to take, like we use basketball example, I'm willing to have the ball and get the last shot, and I'm cool whether I hit it or not. Like I'm good. I understand that I'm not going to hit every shot, and I got to be okay with that, right? But I'm going to try to make the play. Quarterbacks and pitchers in baseball, I use my example.
Okay.
Because the great ones, they throw a fastball down the middle, boom, right, cranked out of the park.
Yeah.
Guys rep, next batter up, fastball right back down the
Does
middle.
it again.
Doesn't phase him, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with quarterbacks, right? Tom Brady throws a pick six, he comes right back down, he's right back chucking it. Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't phase him, right?
Yeah.
So I try to get the kids to see, look, even they make mistakes, but the difference between them and everybody else is it doesn't phase them, right? They just move on and make the next play. So, yeah.
That's huge, and I think you allow them the opportunity to essentially fail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love teaching, so I can kind of say whatever I want to say now.
Yeah.
But we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like as a classroom teacher. Like
drives me nuts.
Right? Like no, I'm sorry, you know what? You've done the bare minimum, but I gotta move you on.
Yeah.
And that's the sad reality of the system, right?
Yeah.
But then parents come in and they just end up I wouldn't say everyone, I'm not generalizing this, but like a lot of parents now, they focus in on, as the educator, coach, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right? My kid's failing, but what are you doing?
Right.
And the thing is like, I don't think a lot of people understand this, which is crazy, is that you don't get paid a cent to run any of your sports programs at school.
Yeah.
This is all on your own time.
It's all voluntarily, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, have you actually tracked how many hours you spend outside of teaching in a school year? I did it actually.
Yeah,
I did it one year. It was the year that we were work to rule, close to work to rule.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, interesting? I'm curious to see how many hours I actually put in.
Yeah.
And it was like 920 hours for the year.
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
It's insane.
Yeah, like same thing when I put it between my school and my rep teams, and I was like, man, like the hours I've spent in gyms, like at Ashton with our girls team, we practice like almost every day at recesses and stuff, and then you throw in 2 to 3 practices a week with the rep teams, and that's like 4 hours a night, and then you get the games, tournaments on weekends. It's a lot, man.
Yeah,
it's a lot. That's why when the season's over, I'm like, what do I do with myself? And then it's like my wife's like, well, there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be prepared.
You have 3 kids at home.
Yeah. How about you? How about you paint the wall you said you were going to paint for 6 years?
How do you cut a kid? How do you cut it? Like,
yeah,
I ask you this question because you understand it.
Yeah.
How do you cut a kid?
Yeah, it's
in a public system.
So
in a public system.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I gotta say, I'm pretty lucky in that way that because our school is so small. I mean, you were from a small school too, but I don't know. But we
beg to have kids.
Well, that's the thing. We take whoever comes, like basically whoever shows up.
Have you ever cut a kid?
Well, I've had to on my rep teams.
Okay.
For my school teams, I never. It's funny. In all the years I've been teaching, I never actually had to. We used to get like a lot of kids for juniors. I remember when you had junior girls, I had like 20-something girls come out, and
time out. Yeah. For those who don't understand, to have 20 is such a small number.
Yeah.
Especially these other schools who get like 80, 100 kids.
Yeah.
So
and we've had our intermediate teams the last like 4 years have been half of them juniors because we didn't even have enough intermediates. Like this year we had 3 grade 8s.
That's insane.
That was it.
Yeah.
I had like my bench was all my grade 5s and grade 6s, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Because then they were amazing in junior, but it's like, I got nobody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was the only year I had really like extraordinary numbers, but I took all the girls anyways, just because I was thinking, you know what, it's really tough sometimes to get girls in a sport, especially if I cut them, and they were mostly like grade 4s and grade 5s, and if I cut them, I'm going to lose them for good, and there might be that diamond in the rough that, just hasn't been untapped yet. So we just worked around it, but it worked.
When you cut a rep player, though, this is the paying player.
Yeah.
That's what sets you apart from a lot of other rep programs that I know in which they just take everyone.
Yeah.
Right? And, it's a business. I get it. I understand it.
Yeah.
But your heart is into it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
absolutely.
Because you could take that money.
Oh, 100%.
100%, right?
Yeah.
But you choose not to do that.
Yeah. No, we don't make any money on our rep teams. Our coaches all volunteer, including myself.
I love that.
Even we have, parents step up and help with the admin stuff.
Yeah.
Really lucky, got connected with a great family, the Vale family this year. And so Peter was coaching our other U14 girls team and his wife Tracy jumped in, helped a lot of admin stuff. But that's just,
I volunteer.
And you know what? I think that's part of it too. Like I've had kids come out. I remember like last year I had a boy come out for our team, big kid, and I was like, this kid's gonna help our team.
Yeah.
By the time I got home, like the father had called me, emailed me, and texted me asking if the kid had made the team. And I was like, you know what, you're already paying the butt, so no, he's out. But seriously,
really, eh?
Yeah, like I'm like I don't care about the talent. Like I want the total package, and we try to run our clubs like a family piece, and like all the teams know each other. The kids all know each other. The parents, even from the different age groups, different genders. We don't have that many teams, but we're expanding a few more next year. But we like to keep that kind of close knit family feel. And for me, that's why it's important to have good parents that are there, and they're there for the right reasons. They understand that there are some parents that there's an opportunity. Maybe their kid will get a scholarship, or whatever. That's great. We're going to help foster that as best we can. If it gets to a point where they need to go somewhere else because it's going to be better for them, we'll help them find a good fit. We'll send them on their way. I'm not going to try to keep a kid just because we need to win a thing. But on the flip side, there's majority of the kids are not going to get there. Yeah. So what are we here for? What are we here to get them? Are we here to stroke my own ego to win a championship? Or are we here to try to get those kids to learn some learning skills out of it, to learn failure, to learn to be the person that take the ball at the end of the game and have to make that play and live with whatever happens. So stuff like that, I think, and I've been lucky that I have a lot of parents that are that same mindset.
That love you. Like, are fanatical about you.
I don't know if they love me. They might love the idea of what I do, but I don't know if they love me as a
No,
person.
they do. He's being way too humble.
No.
They're so devoted. Like, even your school teams. Like, when we bring our teams over to you, and, they're so devoted to you. Like, while you're coaching, I'm up there with, Levy, and we're listening to the parents.
Right.
Be like, he's so dedicated, just relentless. You're the parent.
And I mean, I think, some of the kids,
you are.
I see them, during the day, school team, and then rep team at night and weekends, I probably see them more than their parents do, right? And, it's probably true to some extent. But I think also it's, kids aren't stupid and parents aren't either, but kids particularly can see. We know, as a teacher, if you stand up there and you're thinking, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm talking about, and they know you don't know what you're talking about, right? So the kids know. So, but I think, and they know if you genuinely care, do you know what I mean? And there's listen, I love to win. I'm highly competitive, as much as the next guy, but sometimes things come and you go realize that there's other things that are more important in life that you got to deal with, and we're willing to take the loss for that, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, those are the kinds of things, we had that recently with our U12 girls this year. We had one young lady just, actually she comes to Ashton Meadows, and I set some expectations for her and she didn't reach those, and I was like, okay, then you give me no choice. I got to bench you from our rep team games, because she's also and she is our best player.
Yeah.
And we were first place, undefeated, 10-0 in the Ontario Basketball League, Pool A, top pool. And we had to win one of two games to win a championship, that weekend. And we're playing the two bottom teams in the pool. So I'm like, I can't have you play. You're benched. And I said, but the expectation is you are going to come to the game and sit on the bench. And I said, you better hope your teams win, because this is going to be a tough conversation you're going to have with your teammates. And I knew there was a big chance we were not going to win without her, because she's she's good for, at 12 years old, she's putting 20 to 30 points a game, so that's a lot. But we've got a great team anyways. But we ended up losing both games, one by 3, the other one by 1, and we didn't win the gold medal. We dropped to second place, and it was luckily though the parents, I know there are teams where those parents would have yelled
lost
at
me.
It. Why are you benching our best player? It's a big loss.
Yeah.
All of my parents were like, that was great. That's good that you cared, and you're right. So there's things that are more important. And they were okay with it, even the girls on the team were really supportive of her and saying, do you understand how much we need you? We need you to do the things that are expected. And the kids done a full 180. It was a harsh thing, and it was hard for me to do. And it was hard for me to sit there and not tell her, go put on a uniform.
Yeah.
But realizing, this is a pivotal moment possibly for this kid and really learn something. And so far, so good. So
she'll always remember that. And she may not have thanked you for it, but give her time. She'll come back and be like, And
I had a girl like her years ago, an exact same personality, exact same thing. And it was a similar situation. That's why I had the idea, because we were going to a St. Augustine tournament with my school team. And left her behind. And, we won the championship. And, she came by after school. And I was like, she went to sit with the team on the bench. I'm like, no, you're a spectator. You're not on this team right now. And it killed me to say these things. Yeah. And I'm giving out the medals, and she's standing there, and I didn't give her one. And we're staying for the picture. I'm like, no, you're not part of the team right now. You're still there. And and I'm watching the tears come down. This girl's 13 years old, and I'm in grade 7. I'm watching tears come down her face. And it's killing me. Steve, I'm dying inside. I know, but I'm like, I need to do this, because if this kid's ever gonna make it, it has to be this harsh lesson, right? Yeah. And I'm not saying it was just because of that moment, but that moment helped spark a difference in her. Yeah. And she's been surrounded by good people, and now she's in high school and doing amazing. She gets scholarships in the States for ball.
That's insane.
Yeah. And she's a great role model for kids now.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
let me ask you, when you're developing kids, when you have kids try for your rep teams, apart from skill, right? Skill's one thing, but there's that one thing we all look for in a coach.
Yeah.
What's that one thing you look for in a kid who's coming out for your teams, regardless of rep or just the school team, right? Because like someone's got just a sweet stroke, they got crazy handles, it's great, but if they're a jerk, that's toxic for the team.
Absolutely.
But what's that one thing apart from physical skill or mastery that you look for?
I think there's probably a couple little things that kind of impressed me. I think there's a one where kid comes in, first time coming to the gym, first time meeting me, trying out for the team, and it's like they come up and go, "Hey coach, how you doing? I'm so and so," and introduce you and stick their hand out to shake your hand. And you're like, "Yo," like for a young
it doesn't happen, right?
No, it doesn't. Yeah. For a young person to do that, you're like, "Okay, this kid's got something." You know what I mean? Like really right off the bat, and that's a good lesson for a lot of you kids out there, right? Like it's first impressions are massive. We always talk about that, and right away you're like, wow, instead of the kid who's kind of quiet and the parent comes over and introduces, come here, come meet the coach. The kid's like, with the head down and you think, okay, this is, talk about who's going to get the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah, right.
You look at that kid, you're like, that's a kid that, is a gamer, right? Yeah. But things like, when you run your tryouts and do things like, there was one girl that last year when I was doing that work down in Barbados doing some coaching, and there was a girl down there named Zara, and we had to pick our MVP of the camp for the week. It was like a unanimous decision. It wasn't even, we didn't have to take it to a vote. It was like, Zara, right? Yeah, okay. Because this kid was like, someone else is dogging it and not doing what it's supposed to do, and okay, the whole team's gonna run, or everybody's doing push-ups. And she was never that person dogging it, and she was never the person not listening to instructions or whatever, but she was the first person to drop and start doing the push-ups. First person to run to the line to do the sprints because someone else on her team messed up. And she would never complain. She would go, "Come on, guys, let's go, and just cheer them all on." Yeah. And you're like, "Yo, that is a leader. That's a kid. That's not." And but it's funny because listen, she was a great basketball player. Yeah. But how soon your attention turns away from her basketball skills to her as a leader, and you think, that's a kid I want on my team. I don't even care how good she is. Yeah. Just that whole piece is going to raise your team to a new level.
Because you've seen it, I've seen it. The best players are sometimes the laziest. Right? Yeah. Especially when the team's in trouble. Yeah. Or they're not executing what they need to. Yeah. They kind of mope over to the line. They jog. Right. But or
they're having a bad day offensively. They don't want to get back on defense.
Right. But everyone's watching you. We've had this discussion. Levy and I've had hundreds of discussions. Be like, you're more than just the captain. You're more than just the leader. Right. You're like the heart of the team. Yeah. When your head's slumped, you're slumped over, you're skipping back.
Everybody sees that.
Everyone's watching you.
That's right.
You got to understand that.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about Barbados. What are you doing down there?
Oh, yeah. So last summer, a good friend of mine, Josh Cardozo, who I work with at the Raptors, and actually he's a teacher in New York region as well. So he had hooked up this thing with a group out of Barbados. Guy runs a great program out there, Next Generation Basketball, and just brought a bunch of us coaches down to do some stuff at the camp, and then to work with some of these junior national players for the Barbadian team. Yeah. And it was a great experience. It was just fun. It was awesome because we're in outdoor courts. Yeah, it's hot.
I saw all those pictures.
Yeah, and then it's like monsoon rain. And it's like, yo, and these kids are like, yo, we'll keep playing. Like it's fine, right? It's all good. And so that was really cool, right? Just seeing that bit of different piece, and we're going to the school there and playing in the gym. The gym's outside, and the classrooms are all around it, right? Yeah. So that was really cool. But just being able to get around the different kids. So we were there just kind of helping out and just try to give a different vibe and bring some excitement to the kids about basketball and say, hey, look, it's an international game. You got people from all over that came to Barbados to help you run some camps and stuff, right?
Are you going back this summer?
I don't know, actually. Am I, Josh? I don't know. So
let me ask your wife. Let me ask her.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about some of your highlights as a coach, and some of the kind of low points as a coach, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I think. Highlights. Anytime I beat Charlton was great. No, I'm just. So no, I think highlight this year.
I was just gonna say this year. I don't actually. Do you know if there has been any other?
There's been one other team. Who? So it was Unionville Public School. So we won the intermediate girls regional basketball championship, and then the junior regional basketball championship same year. So there's only been one other school ever in the history of York region to do that, and that was Unionville Public School. They did it, maybe 12 to 13, 14 years ago or something like that. Yeah. So that was the only other team that's ever done it. So it was a big deal. We'd always, we talked about, getting back and getting back to that regional win. Obviously losing to you guys last year in the finals, but we're like, hey, we're in good shape. That's what we want to get back there. I mean, we've had some good runs. You can't win them all. But the intermediate girls were focused. They're like, we're not losing that again. We're winning this. And, especially the grade 8s, right? Yeah. And then it became this thing like, hey, like I think we can win both, like, and that was our focus. And it was really interesting too, because I think for me also the highlight of as a coach was not just the winning, it was what led up to it. Like these girls, if you follow me on social media, they were doing battle ropes, they were doing push-ups, they're doing wind sprints, they're running stairs, they're like they are pushing themselves from September, right? And the whole focus was that, and then it was like they dragged in the junior girls, and it's just this group of girls that are just working together, and the camaraderie and the chemistry, and to see them, and even during the season, like we're playing games, and we are not even concerned about winning, our tournament or whatever school tournament or any of that stuff. Like everything was, okay, let's put this in action and see how it works.
Got it.
Right? And then let's flip to this. And then we practiced flipping our, our defense, our offense, like really quickly.
Yeah.
And it was like, can we transition between that stuff?
Yeah.
And the whole goal was to win regionals, and that was it. And just seeing the professionalism in them. So for me as a coach, that was like the highlight. Just seeing that whole package come together was awesome. Because then it was great, and it was just like, I mean, I've had some great success with the rep teams and stuff like that. Like my boys won a gold in their division this year, etc. But for me, it wasn't just championships. It was that whole, just seeing how all that came together, and then just watching, like, especially the intermediates, and just watching them roll over people. And it wasn't because, and I don't mean that putting the other teams down, but just watching, like, because they had worked so hard and had prepared themselves. And you talk about, again, a good life lesson.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you won the battle.
Yeah.
Or you won the war before you even fought a battle.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? All that put into place, right?
Huge. And this bothered me, like when you would see a good team, a great team, put in so much work, and I watched those videos of, like, these girls, like, training like professional athletes. Right. And I was like, I'm so happy I'm not coaching this year. I'm so happy. But I'm like, you should be rewarded for that. Right. Not only you, but the girls.
Yeah.
Your team should be rewarded to walk into a gym, be like, we've put in so many additional hours of hard work that if we come and we win 40-2, you win 40-2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know what? The people who only put up 2 points, if that's my kid's team, I'm not going to be like, hey, that guy or that girl should be putting in their bench players.
Right.
No, it's a life lesson. Yeah. Sweetie, you only got 2 points.
Right.
What's the work that you did to get up to this point?
Right.
Watch what they did. And that's why they were rewarded.
Yeah, I think that's that's kind of one of the frustrating parts for me a little bit, is like, I think some people see, our team.
Because you got a reputation to be like an amazing coach. Everyone knows that.
Right.
Like, to go up against you guys, it's a feat.
Right.
Like,
and I think, but again, it's that old saying. It's like, you see the iceberg and you see the top, and
bingo,
you see all the things at the bottom. Yeah. And it's like, but it's like, acknowledge that, like, and really, and it's funny because that was my conversation. It was like, listen, it's not like we rolled over everybody. Juilliard gave us a really big run with the McCormick sisters and stuff, and King City in the finals. We had stomped them kind of early on, but they got better as the tournament went on, and they found their way back into the finals, and they gave us a bit of a run. But my whole conversation to the girls wasn't like, hey, we're drawing up this play, we're doing this. It was like, during the timeouts, like, okay, take a breather and remember all the work you did. Remember all those push-ups. Remember all the sprints. Remember all the battle ropes. Remember all that stuff. You worked harder than they did. Yeah. You deserve this. So your hard work is going to pay off. So you worked harder. Work harder now, right? Work hard on the court. And then it's like, dive into loose balls, get there, because those are the difference makers.
Huge.
Right? And so, it was great because it set up the conversation for me where, again, it's just like, I trust you have the basketball IQ. You guys are good. And I think when the teams here, like, the coach trusts you, and I'm not even talking about a play. I'm not going to talk about it because I know you know what to do.
Yes.
Right? And just think about all the hard work you did. And it was really interesting, a different conversation in the timeouts. My wife's been saying for years I got to stop kicking chairs and throwing clipboards. So I took this different Zen approach this year, and it seemed to really work. Like, it was good. Although with the boys it did. The boys, you still got to, like,
I know,
you got to kick them in the butt a little bit.
I know there was one defining moment. I watched, like, I'm good at watching people.
Yeah.
But the moment George Thomas drops his clipboard, game over. Game over. It's so quintessential. It's that clipboard. I'm like, all we need to do, girls, is make sure that he drops his clipboard,
and then you're good.
Right?
That's
like,
right.
it's so true though.
Yeah.
But it's such a balance though, right?
Yeah.
Such a balance, like, as a coach, to not just be there, like, to be pushing them on the court, but just helping to develop their character. So huge though.
Yeah, absolutely. And to actually ask your other question, like, what was the low light?
Losing Charlton.
No. Yeah, so right. Well, like I've always said, I don't mind losing long to one of my buddies and stuff like that. And we're all good. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't want to lose to somebody I don't know. Like, who's this person? Why? I don't want to lose to them. Like, come on, man. and but it was, I think, for me, it's funny because it's kind of early on, like when I started coaching, and I think those are the kind of things that drove me. Like I got a bit of a obsessive compulsive personality disorder, so I've been told. So, but which is probably totally true. My wife's like, yeah, everything about that is 100%.
Yeah.
But it was like early on, and like seeing kids work and not reach that pinnacle and not being able to get over the hump. So I remember there was one year, had a really good boys team in Aston Meadows, and we just couldn't get, we lost to Lincoln in the finals, the area finals, and we thought for sure we're going to regionals, and like we had beaten them earlier in the round robin, but they came back. So that, and there was like the same thing. I had a girls team that was really strong. We had beaten Castlemore over and over and over again. All of a sudden, we meet the semifinals and we lose by 1, and it's like, what the heck? And speaking of Unionville Public School, like they used to beat us every year, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? I'm done losing to them. And it was also a case where we literally had kids from different sides of the tracks, right? And it was like, over here is like the wealthy kids, and at the time, like our demographic was not that. And I'm like, I'm done losing to them. Like, 'cause it's not sending my kids a good message. They can beat those people, right? But I was like, but I took the responsibility. I'm like, it's on to me. Like, they're looking to me to get them prepared, right? To give them the tools and knowledge to be successful. I have to do that. I can't, I think I learned as a coach, like, you get frustrated as a coach because you can't dribble the basketball. You can't shoot it. It doesn't matter whatever sport it is, you can't do it. So that's the most frustrating part. So then it was like, okay, I need to change what I'm doing because I need to give them all the tools beforehand. I can't keep it and expect to give it to them in a game with that pressure and they can make the adjustments. They're still kids.
Yes,
forget, right?
Yes.
So that's where I kind of made that adjustment on developing. And listen, I'm, even my rep teams, I'm not the kind of coach that's going to I'm not the punitive kind of coach that's going to make you do push-ups and sprints and all that stuff. You're not listening and stuff like that. I try to get them to get that intrinsic motivation. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you got to go to that. And that's fine. Yeah. It's fine. You got to go to that too. But I think you save it for when you really need it because now the kids know you're serious.
Yeah.
It's like the old thing we say, like if you're standing in front of class and you're yelling at the kids all the time, when they actually do deserve to be yelled at, it's not going to do anything because you're already yelled at them all the time, right? So the same kind of thing with the basketball. But yeah, it was. And so that to me was I guess my low point as a coach, and it wasn't. I look back and I'm like, man, I wish, like everybody does. I wish I know now because I kind of feel like I let those kids down.
I love this. This is an amazing part of the podcast.
Yeah, but it's just like, but you also think, but that's part of growth. That's part of my growth. Yeah. It was part of their growth. And I always give, my shout outs to those kids who came before because at least with their efforts we got to a certain point, and that got me excited about it and got me so excited, right? I don't know if I did that right. It was too low.
So excited.
Yeah, I got to work on that. But I'm working on it.
I love it.
So but it does. And then but it's also, I think, a good, I always talk to those kids that I had previous, and I say, but here's part of life, right? Like we always look back and go, I wish I had known then.
Yeah.
So hey, try to give yourself as much as you can know at that point.
Yes.
Right. But don't be afraid of those failures because you will learn from them and grow as long as you give yourself that opportunity.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please stay tuned for part 2 next week. As always, be great, be kind, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.